What it do? What it do? This is God and Me. We Cool TV. I am here with a new episode. How you doing today, brother?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
All right, all right. Just talk up a little bit more for me. All right. What's your name and where you from?
Justin. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, born and raised.
Born and raised all your years, all these years.
Yeah.
How has it been since you've been here?
Pretty good. It's all I've really known. I mean, I've done a little vacationing and stuff, and of course, you get the travelers, love. But I love my city. I love it.
No, okay. What's your current situation right now, as far as work, and do you own or rent your house or whatever?
Currently employed. I've been employed for 13 years at my company. Started at the bottom, worked my way up. Feel pretty good about it. I rent. I've been a previous owner, and now I rent apartment.
Oh, okay. What, one bedroom, two bedroom?
That little 2 bedroom with a basement. It's a townhome.
No, okay, okay. Did you grow up with both parents in a household?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I did. Until I was 8 years old, and my parents divorced, and then it was two single parent households until I was 13, and then my stepmother came along and helped my dad raise us. My dad got custody of us.
Oh, okay, okay. And as far as your family, are you married or got kids or anything?
Now, so I'm recently not really divorced. We were engaged for 10 years. We had a child together. I have a previous child when I was young.
Okay.
Had a little dude when I was 19 years old. He'll be 18 this year, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then I got with my ex when I was 27, and we split 2 years ago.
No, okay. Are you
Yeah.
currently with somebody now, or?
Yes, I am. Yes, I was lucky enough to meet a nice lady, and we've been together. This October will be 2 years.
No, okay. Congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
No, okay. As far as school, did you graduate high school?
I did. Yes, I did. I started off. I did kindergarten twice. So I have that weird September birthday where they start you early, see what you got, and it just didn't pan out for me. So I did 2 years in a row. I got a sister that's 11 months younger than I am, and we went to school together. Everybody thought we was twins.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I went all the way through my second K through 12, all the way through straight through.
Okay. How was your time in high school? Did you do any sports or?
So yeah, so obviously K through 5 was just your typical school. Nothing. I don't really remember. I had like a speech therapist. I couldn't say my R's. I had your typical, behavior stuff, but nothing intense. K through 5. When I started getting middle school, hit the puberty, things stepped up from there. I started getting in a little bit of trouble, fights, have you be. I was just a little guy, still am. But bullies, the bullies, and where I come from, man, I would get it worse. And this is a true story. I would get it worse from the old man if I came home busted up and I didn't have a story, or I messed him up, or I did that, didn't protect myself or my baby sister.
No,
So
okay.
yeah, I just kind of fought and started smoking, started drinking, started kind of young, but I maintained grades. That was one thing about my family. I lived with my older sister when I turned 15, kind of out of control, fighting with mom, fighting with dad. Like I said, I had a split household.
Okay.
So it was kind of up and down, kind of crazy, but still really good parents. It was just me, just rebelling and doing my typical thing. My sister took me in. I kind of was laxed on being able to smoke, drink, hang out with my friends, long as I had a job when I turned 16, and as long as I went to school. And I did that till I was 18 and graduated high school with a full-time job.
Okay.
I started
Okay.
working at 13, and then and that kind of progressed. I worked for a horse stable for 2 years in the summer. It's local. It's in London, Ohio.
Okay.
And that kind of gave me the grit and the grind, being a little dude dealing with 1,600-pound horses and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was just always my thing. I've always been like a thrill seeker. As you can see, the bike. I've always got to have something that is more powerful, and
No, okay. Yeah, my daughter, she just went to the sixth grade, so she was currently dealing with bullying for the first time in the fifth grade. So, it's funny you talking about bullying when you was younger. She basically at that time
yeah,
in her life where she's getting bullied and everything.
I
So,
feel like that's that grade, that's that age where kids start. I don't know if it's puberty or what, but people get mean, man. Kids start experimenting, messing with other kids, and you pick your route.
right. So by you riding up on a motorcycle, I'm assuming that's your hobby, that favorite hobby you like to do?
That's right. That would be that's my number one favorite. I got a couple, but this one is my keep me grounded and give me a little bit of also of that thrill. You know, I'm a single father. Take care of, like I said, I got a girlfriend, but you know, I'm a single father right now. I follow the rules. I walk the line, and this is my I call it my Prozac. My mom said that. My mother's rode a Harley for the last 30 years. She's rode some kind of motorcycle. And she was telling me, you know, how it makes her feel. And she would always say, she used to take antidepressants. She would say, my bike is like my Prozac. And I'd say, oh, okay, that's that stuff you take to feel better. Yeah. So when I got older and life hit me and I'm working all the time taking care of my kids, I always, let me see. So I got on a Harley when I was 17 years old, and I've pretty much owned one till now, and I'll be 40 next year.
Oh, okay. So what's the difference between riding a motorcycle compared to driving a car?
Totally different. So, you know, I feel like a car to me is A to B. A to B, safely, contained, you know. Where a motorcycle, you're one with the road, you're one with the earth. It's just a good feeling. It's a good feeling all the way around. It relaxes me. Everything goes out. I focus. I get out of my head and I focus out here. The wind, the noise of the bike, you know, the horsepower, it's undescribable. Until you felt that feeling and know what I'm talking about, it's really hard to explain. People who know, they know.
Okay, what's the name of that bike and what's the reason why you chose that bike?
So that's a Harley Davidson Ultra Classic. It's a 96. It's an older bike. The reason why I chose that bike was because that was actually my uncle. My uncle was the second owner of that bike. That thing is, in the bike world, we call it a garage queen. So that bike has basically lived the last 20 years out of its almost 30 years in existence in a heated and cool garage. So it's always been taken care of. I never personally could see myself on something like that, if you want me to be honest. I always had bobbers, sportsters, choppers. I had street bikes, so things that appealed a little better. You know, to me, when I would look at that, you see the back seat, the trunk, you know, you think of, we called a geezer cruiser is what we used to call those bikes. And my father approached me 3 years ago now and said, hey, man, you should really look in. Your uncle wants to sell that bike. I think it would be perfect for you. At the time, I had a Honda Shadow that was bobbed. Now, it looked really cool. It was a great little bike. But he said, man, there's something about that bike. I'm telling you, you would love it. I'm like, Dad, nah, man, I'm not old enough to own something like that. You know?
Right.
And we went and looked at it. I said, okay, Dad, if you want me to. I said no. Dad said, come on, man, please. So I went and looked at the bike. And I'm still kind of like, not really my thing. Now I've done a lot of work. It sits lower. I've done some motor work to it. I've done some stuff to it to upgrade it. But I got on it. I took it for a cruise. Then I came back like 30 minutes later. I said, okay, I want it. And here I am 2 years later. I'll never not own something like that.
No, okay. Well, have you ever crashed and burned, or do you know somebody that did?
So in the biker community, the saying goes, it's not if, it's when.
Right.
And I have been fortunate. Now, I've had little drops where I've either been at a light, stopped weird, foot wouldn't come off the peg, something like that, get shoestring caught, and just set it down real easy.
Okay.
But I have been fortunate. Unfortunately, I know multiple people that's laid them down. But in the year 2000, my Uncle Greg lost his life over here locally in Columbus to a motorcycle accident.
All right, sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
When was the last time you cried and why?
Man, you know, I would have to say, that's a hard one. I would have to say, you know, it probably wasn't that long ago. So life hits me, I feel like in waves. It keeps hitting in waves. You know, a couple years ago, I lost my mother. I call her my mother. It was my stepmother. She had a big part in raising me and my baby sister. Came with two brothers. I get that. I lost my grandpa. I split up with my ex. Just since then, I kind of was on my high horse, if I can say that.
Okay.
I thought I was. You know, I'm naive. I'm 40 years old. Hadn't lost any close relatives or family members. And then in 8 days, I moved from my house of 10 years. Split with my son, who was 8 at the time and has always been with me. lost my mom, lost my grandpa on Sunday, lost my mom the next Monday, and that Wednesday in between. So 8 days. I would say that would be probably the last time I cried.
No,
Um,
okay.
and just grief. It finally hit me, and it didn't hit me right away, man. I was always taught to be tough, buck up. That's, my dad would always say, buck up. Don't let us see your tears,
Right, right.
And we all lost it. We all had to grieve. It took a while, but when you find it, and it feels good, man. As a tough guy,
Right, right.
everybody has to. We're
Right.
human.
Got
It's
to
an
release it,
emotion. You got to get it out of
Oh, okay. If you can have a superpower, what would it be?
you. I've always liked to go fast. And nothing even with the bikes. So when I was a kid, I used to run. I thought I was like the fastest. In my little town I grew up in, I was super fast running. I played football when I was in Pee Wee sports, like 6th, 7th grade, and fast. I would have to say some kind of like lightning speed, not even just like with the bike, but just with my feet,
Right.
you know.
Oh, okay. If I had that type of power, lightning speed, I'd probably be wanting to go around taking things. Even though I'm not a thief like that, but go in the bank real quick and pew, pew, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Like, we didn't see anybody. How you feel about the real estate nowadays?
Man. So the real estate market, the housing market right now, to me, in my opinion, is through the roof. I mean, the interest rate's high. I mean, the country's obviously going through its own thing, but just to focus on the real estate, man, I think it's good for owners who's previously bought before, let's say, the market jumped up and the interest rate went sky high. But I would say, it's not good. Like I said, 2 years ago, it was really peaked. It's kind of peaking now. But I had to go get an apartment. So just for an example, back in my early 20s, I had rented this apartment that I'm in now, in one of the buildings, one of the units, with my brother. My best friend. We shared, we did like a roommate thing, him and his girl and their baby and me and my son. And we paid $660 a month. Now, this is probably 15 years ago, which I know things will change a little bit.
Right.
But these are older 70s apartments. Man, I'm paying like $1,300 a month for an apartment. And they're only getting higher. They're going up every month, $50 or every year, $50, $100. I mean, it's insane right now. I mean, I feel like you have to be, what used to be the old middle class is now the underclass. I mean, I feel like if you're not making six figures out here, you're struggling. You're drowning.
Right.
So, and I feel like the market and the interest rates, the banks, all that has to play a role in this, man.
Oh, okay. So this would be the last question. If something was to happen to you, how would you like to be remembered?
I'd hope to say that I was a character, my mannerism. So I'm ADHD. I was born that way. Like I said, I used to annoy everybody and, get on nerves with my siblings and my kids and, everything else. And I would say just my personality, man. And then at the end of the day, I'm willing to help anybody. If somebody looks like they really needed help, I always give people a chance, until I realize somebody can't help themselves. Just a good person, man. I'd hope to think that I'm a good person because I know that that's what I shoot for.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate your time, and
No
till next
doubt.
time.
No doubt. Thank you.